Welcome, welcome, welcome. It's week 19 of Meat, Sweats, and Menopause. I'm Joe Gleason, the Midwestern man, and with me, my beautiful partner and co-host, Kirsty the Brit Chick. Welcome to the show, Kirsty.
Hello, hello. How you all doing?
Doing well. Very good. So, what do you have on the agenda for us here tonight?
That's a really good question. You have it all written down, don't you?
I do, yeah.
You know how we like to fly by the seat of our pants.
Yeah. Now, why would you plan ahead when you can do it all on the fly, right? It's the old it was Popeye, the cartoon, right? The guy that's why do today what I can put off till tomorrow, right?
God, that's like our motto, and it's horrible. It doesn't work.
Yeah. Well, yeah, we've been learning a lot about. We'll have to come back to this later. We can talk about some of the ADHD journey and some of that stuff if we need to get in there. What's up, Robert? How you doing, buddy?
Hey,
welcome.
Robert.
Good to have you. So, Robert, stick around because we're gonna. I texted you earlier what we're gonna talk about, and I need your contribution. So hopefully you got. We'll get into that here in a sec. We're just kind of waiting for everyone to join. So, did everyone have a happy, healthy, restful, and respectful Memorial Day weekend here in the U.S. For those of you here in the U.S. that were able to, everyone have a good weekend.
Yes, because we don't celebrate Memorial Day in Canada or England, so it's just a holiday here in the States, right?
You guys would have in Canada, you guys would have Remembrance Day, and Remembrance Day is basically two of our holidays. So you guys do in one day what we do in two. We have Memorial Day for the folks who were lost in combat and injured. So that's Memorial Day, and then Veterans Day is also kind of wrapped into your Remembrance Day as well. So, which our Veterans Day and your Remembrance Day are right around the same time of year in November. But we have Memorial Day, and it's the unofficial, in addition to respecting and honoring our those who have paid the ultimate sacrifice for our country. It's also sort of on a lighter note. It's a unofficial kickoff to the summer. So those of us in Phoenix, it's kind of bittersweet, but for the rest of the country, it's summertime now. So yeah, that's cool.
Yes, pool day.
Hi, Rhea.
It was our first day in the pool, wasn't it?
Yes. Yeah, we've been was in Robert's pool to my knees, but haven't been in the pool until Monday here. So my mom came out and we did some burgers and coleslaw and beans and all kind of traditional grub. Yeah, that's right, Brad. Hey, what's up, Brad? How you guys doing? You guys go outside, we come inside. So, although this is one thing I do like about Arizona more than being in the Midwest, in terms of extreme weather, we can go outside in the summer. We just have to be in the pool, right? So.
Yeah. It's I'm not sick of the sun yet. I've been living in minus climates like minus 30, minus 40 for 23 years. So it was just time to have some sun. I'm sure I'll get sick of it at some point too and hide in like everybody else does. But no, it's
well, I think that's one of the things about it kind of depends on what you prefer, right? In terms of, I mean, you're a sun person. You like the beach. You like being by the pool. That all resonates with you. To the best of my knowledge, in the 8 years we've been together, I haven't really discovered any passion for like downhill skiing or ice skating or cross country skiing or ice fishing. I'm not aware of those hobbies if you have them. So
we had a nice little ice skating outfit that we had you in at the beginning of the
Well, we never got to 100 viewers. Was that what the deal was? 100 viewers? I believe that's what it was.
Yeah, I think so. We haven't got there yet. But we do have 6. So apparently there's 6 people in here. So if you are here, can you just say hi? We got Rhea in here. We got Rob in here. We got Brad and Dollar or Brad at least. Who else is in here? If you can just say hi and let us know in the comments, that would be awesome. We've got a few things we want to talk about. I think.
To your point, Brad. Maybe. to your point, Brad. You can't see it, but ice is only good for a drink. That's right.
Yeah. Yeah,
That's right.
I'd agree with that for now. I'm kind of sick of the ice and the cold. I'm over it.
So growing up in Illinois, I had my fair share of snow and ice and all that stuff. But the coldest I've ever been was that first time I came up to Canada. And Ruby had that horse show, and we took Rollo out for a walk, and it was like negative 25 or whatever, or 30.
It was minus 40 that day.
Okay,
it was bad.
I have no interest in ever being in that cold of weather ever again. Like, literally, will do everything I can to avoid it. So, yeah, and put me in the sun and the heat. I'd rather be in the pool, out by the ocean, any of those kinds of things. So, yeah. So I think we go ahead. I was just going to punt it over to you to tee it up.
Yeah, I was going to say, what did everybody do this weekend? What you've been up to? Just pop it in the comments because we had we did a lot. It was a busy weekend. No wonder I was crashed out yesterday. When did it start? It was Saturday, right? Saturday, Sunday day. You were on a course, on a class.
Yep. And you want to get into that now, or do you want to? You're messing up the flow here.
I am. I'm just sharing. No. All right, we can talk about it afterwards.
Right. But we're going to do this first. We're going to do this first. Sorry.
You were in a class Saturday and Sunday day, and then Saturday night that was the Cholo party.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah, and since we're talking about the weekend,
do we all know what that is?
So I didn't know what a cholo or a chola was until I moved out here and met Robert. So for those of you who may not be familiar, this is the look. It's I think it's more LA, but it's like the vibe of like the 60s, 70s Hispanic, it's all about like, the vibe of like cool cars and like, I don't know, it's kind of got a edginess to it, but it's not, nefarious or anything. And it's a very regionalized, at least I'd never heard of it. So I guess they didn't have a lot of cholos in Byron, Illinois growing up. So, Robert's cousin has a birthday about this time of year, in mid-May, if I'm not mistaken. And for the last few years, it's been her request to have a cholo/chola party, and the whole family gets together, and it's this big theme party thing. Everyone dresses up like a cholo. There's a store here, not too far from where we live, that sells this type of clothing, and it's not just for parties. I mean, it's people wear it all the time. So. And it's just this cool vibe, and I have loved learning about it. I love going to the parties. It's a cool experience. So, wanted to talk a little bit about this, and also just theme parties in general. How do you guys feel about them? What are some of your favorite theme parties? Because everyone dresses up for Halloween. That's kind of a go-to. But what are some fun theme parties that you guys know?
Right.
It's more okay. Here we go. See, this is okay.
You're talking. I'm doing the thing. One day we'll get this right.
Yeah, we'll let Robert explain this because he can do it better than I can. I'm just the gringo from Illinois. So, go ahead.
Well, I'm just waiting for you to speak. Go ahead, say it. You're talking, so I was sticking up the thing. So go ahead.
Yeah, it's just basically this vibe, right? So it's like back in the day, people didn't have a lot of money, but it was kind of the way that they were able to dress. You guys can all read it, right? So most of these clothes started at a swap meet and became famous later. So, but it's a cool vibe, right, Robert? It's like about the cars and like I don't know what other words I would use other than vibe. It's kind of like it's just a cool, fun, I don't know, experience. So it
reminds me a lot, and it's probably not connected at all, but I was trying to, I can't remember who I think I was trying to explain it to your mum at the weekend, and I said it reminded me like Grease, the movie Grease, with the like the rockers and the girls with this. It was just very much kind of like 50s kind of vibe. I don't know if it is or not, but like the old American cars and the the bikes and the everybody would be in these kind of clothes and what have you. That's kind of what it reminds me of, and I'm pretty sure it probably all came back in the 80s, like when we were younger, right? Because that's what everyone was hanging out in, same kind of thing.
Yeah. I mean, it's like a days gone by, right? It's like
right.
And that's kind of part of what we talk about quite a bit here on this, is like today's generation they don't have like things that define a decade. Like the 80s, you can see anyone dressing in the 80s clothes and that's from the 80s. You can see the 90s even with like flannel shirts and grunge, and they just don't have like today isn't defined by a sound in the music sound. It's not defined by clothing or anything. It's just kind of all become vanilla and unremarkable. And I think that's probably what makes us all resonate with these types of parties. It's just like it's keeping it alive, it's keeping it remembered, but it's also it's a cool vibe. We just don't have this stuff really anymore.
Well, it's true, because I think after the 1990s, like, can you honestly think of like what was the 2000 dress, or the 2010s or the 2020s? Like, there's nothing. I mean, 2020, I think, will be forever remembered by COVID.
Yeah, it was a mask.
The world got crazy. So we could probably talk about hazmat suits and masks for the 2020s. But between the 1990s and then, there's really nothing. So, as Robert said, different neighborhoods had different groups and all dressed a little differently. Most of the young youth called cholos. Yeah, it was super cool. Robert, since you're here.
Let's give them a little taste of what like the vibe really is about.
Yeah, so Robert, I wonder if you remember this.
There you go, brother.
Look at those socks and sandals. Look at this fancy footwork.
I don't think he'd even had too many Modelos at that point. I think there you go. Nicely played. Yeah, that was. Nobody can move like Robert. Elbows up, brother. There you go. That's why you're sore.
I have several of those at different points in the night. So yeah. You got a good leg workout.
Yeah, that's the vibe, though. A way to show us, not tell us, right? Or tell us and show us, right?
Right. Yeah, and the music too. There was what was the? That's what I wear. Well, I can't even say that. That's what I wear working from home. It's more than me. I'm usually sitting in my pajamas.
You're talking. I will post this.
Oh, go ahead.
Tube socks and slip-ons. I mean, it's not only as a vibe, but it's like it's comfortable too. It's not like you're squeezing into an uncomfortable situation like a corset or something like women had to wear in the 1800s or whatever. Right? It's like.
But the socks are a thing. Like the socks are definitely because nobody really wears socks and sandals. Like it's not a good look unless it's actually the look, which really is.
This is shots fired, Brad. Now's your chance to get. Nobody wears it. Brad just told you he does. This is his look, man. Like, yeah. So, yeah, it was a lot of fun. Always appreciate being invited. Just a great time. So tell us about your favorite theme parties, if anyone has them, if that's a thing for anyone. And I know Halloween, like everyone, like most people I think on here, I can speak to, and I don't know what Ria's Halloween traditions are, but pretty much everyone else, like I've spent time with you on Halloween, and so. Anyway, I
think you can never fail with 70s and 80s because I think a huge big part of that is the music. It's like either the disco theme and it's just hilarious. It's like flares and perms and wigs. Or it's the 80s, right? Which is just like so ugly and horrible, but great music. So I think those are just great themes.
I don't know. I think parachute pants and a Michael Jackson glove. I mean, you could pull off a lot of very unique things in the 80s, right? Like the flock of seagulls hairdo. The crimping, right?
Yeah, definitely. No, I love it. I love those themes. I think they're cool. We did. We were at a party the other day, the weekend before. We've just been doing a lot of social events the last few weeks. It's kind of been crazy, but that was. I think we talked a bit about that. Was Nadine? She turned 60 and she had a what was it? Wear what you can't wear anywhere else or something like that. Is that what she called it? Yeah.
Yeah. So things that you may have bought through the years that you can't wear out in public. So, or can't wear, like a prom dress or something, or that kind of thing. So
yeah, things you can't wear anywhere.
I wore a wildly inappropriate T-shirt which is another theme party, an inappropriate T-shirt party, which was kind of fun because that was at a bar. So that was somebody's birthday, and the idea was inappropriate T-shirt. So private message me, I'll send you a picture of it.
I thought it was funny because we thought it was going to be people we knew, and she'd invited a much older couple who we didn't know at all, who looked very respectful, and they walked in and it was like, bam.
They had hula shirt, Hawaiian shirts on, and there I am wearing an explicit, very inappropriate T-shirt. But you know what? Sometimes you just gotta. I follow the rules of the theme party. I'm not normally a big dress up, do that kind of stuff anyway. So it's kind of it's interesting that we've had back-to-back weekends with the theme party, but here we are, right? So
that lady was all in on it. You were hovering with your arms over your chest, trying not to show a T-shirt, and she's like, "Oh!" and points it out. I was like, "Oh man, this is hilarious."
I mean, I guess I can use properly. The shirt is a warning, like a street sign warning, and it involves cartoons, like a crossing the sidewalk, cartoon looking thing. And it was a female silhouette performing an adult act on the male silhouette. And it's a warning and other stuff that went along with it. Very inappropriate, but I was very uncomfortable. There were also children at this party. I wasn't thinking. They were younger. I'm like, are these kids able to read? Because I got another shirt out in the car. Maybe I should go get it. Right.
What was the warning again? What did it say? I know what it was. Large choking hazard.
A choking hazard, right? Yeah, and so it was like, I mean, it's a public service announcement. I mean, I was just doing my part to help humanity. Wow, this is really going off the rails. I wasn't expecting to go into this. Can we put Robert dancing back on? That was. Oh man.
Nice segue from the choking hazard.
And we're down to no viewers. Yeah, right. Good time. So nobody's really sharing their favorite theme party. So Halloween is always fun. I do enjoy that stuff.
I do get stressed out though about I don't know what it is. I've always had it. It's always I've got to think of something really original, and I just stress over it so badly. And I'm like. It's always the people that do the simplest things ever that are just the funniest. So I just wish I had that kind of brain, but I always tend to overthink it. Although we've done pretty well the last two. Was it the last two we went to? We won the costume prize.
Yeah, it's been. We haven't done a Halloween party in the last couple of years. So
yeah.
So I guess we should resume that this year.
Right. We were the Matrix, weren't we? We were Trinity and Neo.
Yeah. And I mean, that was cool. We won a contest there. That was pretty cool. Mm-hmm. Brad, I know what you're going to be for Halloween, construction worker. Yeah. So Brad, our kids were little when he lived out here, and we started the tradition. Robert, you know this because Robert carried on the tradition. So because Halloween's also my birthday for people that may not know, and so there's kind of the simultaneous birthday thing going on with Halloween. So we'd go trick or treating, and we would take the Joey's radio flyer wagon, and load it up with a cooler and adult beverages. We've used baby strollers, whatever it takes to continue the festivities around the neighborhood. So, that's been going on since. Well, I haven't done that in the last few years because we really there's no trick or treating anymore. The kids don't. The kids don't.
All the kids all
do
got
that.
older, didn't they? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, the theme parties. Yeah, the theme, the day of, right? It's like, what am I going to wear? I was originally not going to wear the inappropriate T-shirt to the what can't you wear anymore. But I steered into the curve in the last minute, and yeah. So that Robert's referencing the time we flew back to go to Game 4 of the World Series. Had a birthday party happening at the house, even though I wasn't there. Ran into some trouble with that. Also missed a family reunion that was happening that same day. I was on the national news. So we fly in. We don't have a hotel. We don't pack a bag. We just fly in for 24 hours and leave just to go to Game 4. We didn't have tickets. Just wanted to hang out at the Cubby Bear across the street. And WGN News, national broadcast, is interviewing people, and they ask, anyone around here fly in? What's the farthest anyone's come to see the game? And we're like, oh, Phoenix. I get spotted. One of my brother's buddies, my twin brother, is like, hey, were you on the news this morning? And my brother's like, no, but I have a twin brother. Like, but he lives in Arizona. And so then he texts me, are you in town? I'm like, yes, me, Robert, and Dan have flown in for Game 4. And so they were all having a family reunion. My brother, my grandma, my mom, etc. were all with a bunch of the extended family a couple hours west. And so I missed the family reunion, missed the birthday party. And but we were rock stars at the Cubby Bear. Everyone thought we were pretty badass for our efforts. So, and one of my favorite memories. But that's all I can really say about it. The rest is you have to. I carry on. 0 for 2. Yeah. Well, I got to be in the shadows of Wrigley Field for a World Series game, and not many people can say that. So it had its pluses as well. So. Oh, that could be another topic. The craziest thing you've ever, like the most spontaneous, craziest thing you've ever done, because that would be right up there on my list of that. So, what would be yours, Kirsty? The most crazy, spontaneous thing?
Oh gosh,
that you can share on a podcast with me. So.
I don't know. I mean, I did fly to England for the weekend once. So it doesn't sound like very wow, that's crazy, but when the flight's 9 hours and you just don't sleep for the entire weekend, pretty same kind of thing. So I've done that before, but yeah, no, outside of that, I'm sure there were many crazy things I did when I was younger. I'm just trying to think.
Yes.
They usually involve drunken nights out and microphones and karaoke bars and things like that. Just being put on the spot, that kind of stuff.
Sure, and I mean, I'm a pretty pragmatic person. I'm the one who I overthink things. So I'm not normally the hey, let's. I know what Roberts would be to go get tacos in Tijuana. So, just doing crazy, spontaneous things like that aren't my normal behavior. But we had this opportunity, and the stars came into alignment and it worked out. And so what would be anyone who's listening? Is there anything that you can share via, or if you want to come on, we can have you jump in and tell us the story. If you want to come on, if you've got something spontaneous that you've done, because I'm looking for some new ideas. It's the 10-year anniversary of the most spontaneous thing I've ever done, and later in October. And so I got to come up with some new ideas.
It's funny, because when I first met you, I thought you were really spontaneous and really crazy and out there. And then as I got to know you, I realized you're really right. You are, like you said, you really are quite pragmatic. It's weird. I don't know where I got that. I don't know where I got that idea from.
I'm just growing the disappointment every day since, right?
It's not that. I just remember just thinking you were just this maybe it was just because you were just loud and out there and big energy. But yeah, check. I definitely had that impression of you. But yeah, as I realize now, I'm you really don't like change and don't like sudden things.
I don't mind change. I just don't like, I like to kind of know it's coming. You know what I mean? Like I like to, like, I wouldn't want to come home and just see like the walls repainted and like all new furniture. I'd be like, what the hell happened here? Because you probably would be like, oh, this is amazing. But as long as I didn't paint the house beige. Kirsty has disdain for the color beige. So, which Arizona, yes. Everything's beige. So
it's a lot of beige. It's really weird. Why is that?
It's like the color of the sand.
It really is. Yeah, it's just everything is. It's really, really odd. The weird thing. It's like in Canada. There's just like a lot of oak. I noticed when I was going into all the houses. I was like, what's with the oak? It was killing me. So, which kind of oak and beige together, like my worst nightmare. So, sorry if that's what your house looks like. It's just me. I just
teach their own.
Yeah.
And for the record, these are AI created backdrops for our. We do not have fluorescent colored painted walls here at the house. Although I think Kirsty would rather have that than beige. So
right, I probably would. Who was it asked me? There was somebody we spoke to this weekend who thought that these were actually sets that we had. Do you remember?
Yeah, I just don't remember who it was.
Yeah, it was someone female who was asking me. And the reason I picked this was because it just looked like my old bedroom when I was a kid. Like when I was about 14, my bedroom looked just like this. So it was just very nostalgic. And then we made a blue version for you because,
yes,
you've been a boy and stuff. So.
Boys have blue and girls have pink. At least that's traditionally true.
Exactly.
So we mentioned AI to create these. I can share kind of as the second part of our conversation that we had planned. The rest of it can totally be spontaneous. Feel free to jump in, anyone, on any of the topics that we've already brought up. But the other cool thing that happened this weekend, and since Rhea, you're still hanging in here with us, you can in case I need any help with any of the explanation, she can either come on or type it out. But I was able to join a course that she and Al do together. I'm trying to use the right words, but okay. So as I understand it, I think I understand that the Al's a programmer and has been in the computer industry for decades, and that's kind of been his profession. And they've created this course that I partook in because I'm in a learning phase of AI and trying to get up to speed with it, implement some stuff in my business and potential opportunities that exist. But their course was using AI to create an application, whether for your business. Most of the people in the class, they had an idea going into the class for their business. So maybe you had like a CRM scrubber was one of the folks. One lady had a farm that worked with mental health charities and so forth, and so putting all that together. And these are applications that you can't just go and go to Microsoft and have them. So the idea is that Rhea has put together is to help people, small business owners and folks, create the app so that you can, post it in there. Anyone that's looking to develop it, you guys have really, I think, helped reduce cost and have also, kind of taken the scariness out of, programming. I'm not a programmer, have no background in programming. I don't want to be a programmer. God bless those that do and do that sort of thing. But the front end is basically where you create the prototype. And that's the course that I took over the weekend. If you'd have told me on Friday that by Sunday I would have a prototype for an app, app, I would have been like, wow, that ain't me. You got the wrong dude. But but
you're not the only one.
Yeah, right.
We're all wondering, what are you doing?
Right. What are you doing? I'm making an app. But the cool thing is they broke it down. It was so super user friendly. It was all in English. There wasn't a lot of technical jargon. So I thought the time flew by, and it was very engaging. And none of it was some of these kind of technical stuff you can get It wasn't. It was cool all the way through. So,
but tell everyone what you actually did, because I think this is super cool. What was that? Because I know you didn't go in with an idea of what you wanted to do. You were kind of going in to sort of explore and see what it was about and everything. So you didn't go in with a preconceived idea, but what you came up with, I think, is brilliant. I want you to finish it and do it.
Yeah, I will.
But tell everyone what you think.
Yeah. So what's cool, and it was kind of like this, like, you ever get those like moments of like almost like a lightning bolt of inspiration, or like these like aha moments or whatever you want to call it. Like, so I knew so we had kind of the training on Saturday, and we created a I don't know how to use Excel either, bro. But so we went in, kind of learned the basics on Saturday, and our homework to come back with on Sunday was to create the app. Take what we had learned in class. We created a superhero database kind of thing in class. That's not the right word, not database, but I'll think of it. And kind of saw how it worked, and then we were to go do the work. Well, we had the Cholo party, so I didn't have a lot of time to go get like super immersed into creating an app. I did it in like 20 minutes. It was like maybe half an hour. Use their system and their guardrails, and so the idea that I have is a budget, and I'm still kind of working through some of the. It's a budget app that, because I'm in financial services, and it's a way to. It's designed for young people to learn financial and to get financial intelligence and to have more savvy, so that they're not as intimidated by the financial world, because we're not really taught this stuff in school. So the idea is they get an app. Kids aren't going to really pick up a book or that kind of thing so much these days. They're more on their phones, right? So the app is not only the tools for creating budgets, but it's also like little video snippets that would be like, well, when would you use a Roth IRA versus a traditional IRA, or when would you put, and then this whole idea of having like short-term money, mid-term, long-term, saving for a house, financial goals, all this kind of stuff in there. And the name of the app is EviSue, which is an acronym that my grandpa used to always tell me. So extremely important, very important, important, sort of important, unimportant. And when you're making financial decisions, like, where would it rank on that scale of, is this really important? Like, yes, I need to have a house, so we probably should put that in the budget, right? So anyway, this whole idea, put it together. It's got little drop-down menu. Like right now, the prototype has like, you can put dates in it, you can put numbers in. I'm like, holy shit, this works. So anyway, I do want to. I didn't think going into it that whatever I would come out with would be something I would really do anything with. But now here it is. So if you have an idea, if there's something that you'd like to create, this is a cool way. If you feel like technology is sort of that hindrance to get you involved with it, whatever it might be. I mean, it doesn't have to be financial stuff or anything like that. It can be whatever you can create, right? So it was really surprising, and you're gamifying finance. Yeah, exactly, and making it engaging, and so that you've got a useful, practical way to learn it, and that's engaging rather than just this. Because, I mean, Kirsty, how many times have you told me that nobody taught you financial services? You kind of like stumbling around and staying, sometimes like your failures can be really expensive in my world with what I do. And so
it's a massive fear. I think for the most part, like it's like nobody wants to talk about their personal problems and nobody wants to talk about their finances. They're like the two things that freak everyone out. Like if you have to go see a lawyer or an accountant, or, like a therapist or something like that. Like it's really, really personal. And it's like, even like online, like we can talk about like this. But if we were to say to everybody, okay, well, how much you earn, or how much do you save, or what's your biggest fear, or what do you have for retirement, or, anything like that, like people don't want to talk about it because we weren't given that information. We weren't given the education. And so you just feel stupid, and you feel really stupid when you're in front of a financial professional and they ask you these poignant questions and you just feel stupid and shameful. I think there's a lot of shame in there because a lot of people weren't taught how to save, or I didn't even know what a pension was. Like for most of my life, I really just never been taught, never been exposed to, I just didn't know any of it. And because I've been self-employed for, a good chunk of my life, I didn't know that I was supposed to put, money aside and stuff. I just didn't know. So you feel stupid when you're sitting in front of someone and they're asking you all these questions. You have absolutely no idea. So I think something like this is actually brilliant. Like I love it. That's
Yeah.
why I was like, you need to go and do this like properly. So
Yeah, it's fun. And it's
that
cool
you came
how
up with that.
it was. Well, it was just super spontaneous because it was like the pressure was to come up with a homework assignment. So it was like, I can't show up to class. Now, in real school, growing up, I showed up without my homework done all the time. So I don't know what got into me.
It's Rhea. Rhea, can you put the link in here? Because I think you said earlier on this is the course that you went to, but do you have a link to it or a link to your website or anything? If people want to check it out, you can just pop it in the comments here. And then if people join later, they can look at it too.
Yeah, and for I mean, you can go look at the pricing. I can just say that the way that they've got this price is very fair, and it's not. It shouldn't be a hindrance for someone who's got an idea that wants to go explore this. The cost is not. But the cool thing is that they are right up front about it and say what you spend on the class, you would easily spend going out and hiring a programmer to do the first half to build a prototype. You'll save that money by doing the class and learn how to do it yourself. And then if you do want to hand it off, like in my app, there's going to be a lot of compliance things. There's going to be a lot of, math, making sure that stuff works. So when I do this, I'm going to need some help on the back end. So I'll happily talk to Al and Rhea about like the super technical nitty gritty stuff that I don't need to get into. But the prototype's already built, so I don't have to spend money and time getting to that point. The handoff is way closer to the end than starting from scratch, which is cool. And it's all, they kind of hold your hand all the way through it. And it's a really cool thing. So if people have something like that they want to create or that they're exploring to find for their business or for their company they work for, definitely a cool way to do it. And they're disrupting that whole, I love disruption. I like when new ideas come in and make, yes. So like in my industry, there needs to be a lot of disruption. So I'm looking forward to being a part of it. So anyway, that's the concept. And it's just another thing where AI isn't the devil. It's not, it's just the tool, right? The AI is the tool.
Can I just say, because when you talk about programming, I immediately think of like lines and dots and zeros and everything like that, because that's how we grew up programming, right? This is you literally spoke this into existence. It's AI, right? So you're giving commands, you're saying do this, do that, make this, make that, and it's going away and it's creating something for you. So you don't even need to know any of that. You don't need to know, because to me that's what I thought you were doing. That's why I was laughing at you, because I was like, okay,
right,
like all the technicals, and it wasn't that at all. That's the thing that really shocked me.
That's a good point. Yeah, and I'm sharing this because I really, if people do have this struggle, I would love to have Rhea and Al help you guys out. The other thing is with AI, we've talked quite a bit about it in the podcast about is there cause for concern with AI? Yes, I think like any tool, it can be used for good and it can be used for bad, right? But here's a cool thing where the AI takes someone like me who has absolutely zero programming experience. And then they created a system and a class to teach people like me how to go solve problems using computers that would otherwise I would never have come close to doing this without them showing me how to do it. And they've got certain prompts are kind of a big thing. Like for if anyone who's trying to look into AI at all, they're like, take these 5. Well, they have what they call their guardrails that they give us, as part of the class to help kind of make sure certain things happen and other things don't happen and stuff. So you're not just left to your own devices to figure it out. So it is very cool. I look forward to developing this in time and bringing it to life because I can't even tell you how many clients tell me, I wish you'd write a book so I can give it to my grandkid through the years. And I was like, how about an app that does all this for you? It gives the education and then the implementation right along with it. You don't have to go from here to here. It's all right in one spot. So, so hopefully by episode 119 of Meat Sweats and Menopause, maybe we'll have something to show you guys. Right. So, so definitely cool. There's some stuff within my own biz that I'm looking at too. And I think that could go over to your business, Kirsty, and anyone. I mean, it's just a cool thing. And I hadn't honestly just kind of had my mind blown by it because I didn't know what I didn't know, and by the end of it, I'm like, I can't believe this damn thing is even like sort of. It's like I got a prototype. This is wild.
Everything is just changing so fast. It really is, and I think it's just. I don't know. Like, I mean, even Joey, your son, who is like a coding whiz, like from what he's learned from the very beginning. I mean, he's been learning this stuff for years, right? And all of a sudden, this like AI stuff is just like, and I know he's got some really strong viewpoints about the pros and cons of all of this, which is fine. But it's so weird how quickly this has all come up. Like it's daunting to a lot of people about, is it a good thing? Is it a bad thing? Like you said earlier, it's like, it's just a tool, right? It's like a gun, is it dangerous or not? It depends who's holding it. And I think it's the same with AI and what its intentions are, but it's going to blow up. I don't think we can escape it.
Yeah, the genie's out of the bottle. It's just whether you adapt and become. I mean, there's definitely a lot of stuff with the data centers and stuff that I don't like, and so I'm not sitting here all kumbaya. Everything about AI is great. I'm certainly aware of the surveillance state aspect of it. I'm aware of, and I think a couple weeks ago we had some folks that were sharing, Dax was sharing that it just makes people's brains soft and people are lazy. Yes, if you let it, but there's plenty of people that sit in front of a TV for 12 hours a day and don't move a muscle. There's plenty of people that are on their phones, and so technology is just the tool. And if you have any, how you use it's going to be up to you, right? So I think that can help. And I like what Rhea and Al are doing with it. Is they're like, it's smart that they're letting the beginning kind of get handled, and then more people. It's actually going to generate more business for them because more people are going to, like me, that would never have even taken up this, this goal or whatever. I would never even thought to go program an app. But I did it, and now I'm like, well, I need some help to finish it. So
sure, it kind of reminds me, how we've been talking about all the electric cars that are coming in, all the laws, and it's like terrifying because it's like, oh my god, all the cars apparently, next year are going to be fitted with these, AI components and electric components where everything's going to be tracked, and it's like, oh my god. Yeah. And we were talking about, like, we don't want this. We just want an old car, and so we were just like, do we get an old truck or an old car? And it's like, but then you've got to learn how to actually do mechanics, and then you've got to have a couple of other old trucks for parts because you won't be able to get them anymore. And I was like, I really feel like I just want to learn some basics about basic car mechanics so that I know what's happening. Because especially as a woman, when you take it just is the truth. It's not something I really know nothing about. And I take my car in and I'm always expecting to get ripped off by, what do you call it? The garage or whatever, because I don't know about it, and they know I don't know about it. So they can tell me anything. And I just really don't have any, leg to stand on with it. And I feel like what Rhea and Al have done with this, it's almost like it's giving you an introduction, so you have some kind of idea. It would be like me looking under the hood of a car and learning all the basics. Like, I mean, I know the basics, like what to check and what, but once I know that this, controls this, and this is, if you've got a problem with that, that's what that is, and this is what you would need to look at, and this is roughly what it should cost. Once you have all that, you kind of feel like you know more, so that when I do take it to a professional, I'm going to know if I'm probably going to need their help, unless I really want to go and study mechanics for 2 or 3 years, but I'm going to need someone's help. But at least I know.
And with your car, you're going to need a lot of help.
Shut up. Just stop. But yeah, like when you know the basics and you know the areas, you know your way around, it's just like you just feel more confident that you're not going to get ripped off. And I think what they're doing right now with AI is that as people are going to have to build stuff, they don't know. They get into these contracts, and a programmer's brain is so completely different. It's so far out there and so intense and intrinsic and everything. I mean, it's like I don't know, like if you have a medical brain, if you're a doctor or a physics brain or something like that, it's like it's really specialized. So I think to be able to understand something.
You're bringing up a good point there too, because if you're trying to articulate creating an app, for example, and I'm trying to say, I wanted to do this, and you can have the AI set all that up, because the way that a programmer's vernacular and their technical, there might be a disconnect between the language that you're using,
right?
And this can help be kind of a bridge to take the technical terms and the just the regular average Joe, if I will, to be able to communicate and try to articulate how to bring it to life. Same thing in my world, where there's a lot of jargon and industry terms and people. It's one of the things I try to be really careful of is not getting too jargony, because the words that make absolute sense to me that I use all day, every day are new to people. Just like if the hood's up on the car and they're going, wow, your whatever belt thing and the gizmo is doing the thing. Like it's not my world. Or if a doctor's spewing off a bunch of medical terms, I don't know what they are. Right. It's like, and everyone's an expert in their own field, and it's good to have sort of that interface to be able to take some of the fear out of it, whether it be financial or whether it be programming. And that could be like, look how much stuff people look up on AI now to just get an idea of how stuff works and how, like where.
You see what you're saying right now is like, that's exactly like, I'm getting all excited about it because I'm like, I wish this is how school education worked or college education worked.
It will.
Like you have, oh no, but just more like you have these little workshops. If you spend 2 days of your school week, looking at all the different components of what you're going to need to learn. Think how smart you'd be. You're going to do mechanics. You're going to do cooking. You're going to do AI. You're going to do, using a sewing machine. You're going to learn how to do woodwork. I know some of these things get offered in schools and you can take them as electives, but if everybody's, education was it, we're going to do some gardening. We're going to learn how to, make drinks, or maybe you wouldn't do that one, or coffees or something like that, but just stuff that you can just learn that's so practical so that you have this real grounded, no fear, attitude when you come out of school. You actually feel like I can handle life, even if I don't know what I want to do yet and what I want to specialize in, I could pretty much, start and do anything like that.
What if they had a parenting, maybe do an app for parenting?
Totally. Yes. Well,
here's some basics.
Who knows how
here's
to be
the shit they don't tell you. Right? Right. Yeah.
Exactly.
Here's the shit they don't tell you. Here's a crash course, right? So.
Right. Yeah. We had talked about that before, didn't we? Actually, when some of the school, they make you take a plastic baby home, that cries and has an alarm, but you got a bag of flour you had to look after. Sometimes you get a chick that you got to hatch. It's just teaching them responsibility. But I really, really wish that education covered all of these things, including what Rhea and Al are doing as well. Like, because that's going to be the world. Any kid that's born now, when they're turning like 5, 6. Like AI to them is just, they won't know, they will not understand a world that doesn't have AI or computers in it.
No, and I think the education industry already is being disrupted.
Right.
But I think it's going to get even more disrupted because the traditional school setup, it's not irrelevant, but it's not kept up with the direction that the world's going with the integration of technology. I just think it's kind of, okay, I'll give you an example. Both of our daughters, Ruby, Jill's, if you guys are on, jump in. They both did online school their senior year of high school. I know Jillian's situation a little better. She kind of had some challenges at the beginning of the school year, got behind a little bit, and long story short, did a semester's worth of work, essentially. Hopefully I'm not getting myself for her. Hopefully she's not upset for me sharing this. But this is how smart she is, but also like the opportunity you have, you can learn and do the work at your own pace when you do it online. So she procrastinated a little bit and did the entire semester worth of work in like 3 weeks before the end of the semester break. And so not all of it, she did some of it, but like essentially she did like the vast majority of it in 3 weeks. Well, it's like, well, how much friggin' time is wasted sitting in a classroom when like you can, and is that going to work for everyone? No, of course not. Yeah. But the idea is some people can crash course, some people can take their time over, but like how much time is potentially wasted in a classroom when you can get that same amount of work done in a short, condensed time frame like that if you're properly motivated, right? So just interesting.
No, it really is. And I think but the other thing to that, and we were talking to Joey, your son, about this the other day, was his concern was there's so much information. How do you know what's disinformation? And so, you're flooded. You can, just type in Google, AI, whatever, ask any question, get any answer. And you have to be able to learn discernment. Like, is this real? Or if I tap in, 5 different questions, am I going to get the same kind of answers? Or what sources are they coming from? And so on. And it's like, but honestly, when we were at school, that's what, I was saying to him is that, when we got our information, it was coming from a book that was printed 20 years ago or an encyclopedia that was printed 10 years ago. And then the teacher that had gone to school like 30 years ago, and they were teaching, and we were acting as if that information was real and up to date. And sure, some of the basic principles are still things that we use today, and that's fine. But to think that we knew more then, based on what we had access to versus what we have access to now and what we can actually learn for ourselves. I mean, we can go into medical records and information and go and learn all of the stuff that, people do learn in colleges and school. You can type in any person that you follow, that you admire in whatever specific industry it is, and you can go and ask, a question, like take on the persona of, this person, show me their teaching, show me the basic ideas, their concepts and so on, and what it is and you can go and learn all that like in 10 minutes. And I mean, yes, it's up to you. It doesn't make you a doctor or a medical expert or anything like that, but you obviously know that. But the amount of information you would have gathered versus me reading a book from 40 years ago that was already 20 years old, I mean, you've just got to learn discernment, right? What do we have here? What are you giggling at? They taught us the earth was round. I know, but guess what? Before that, Vince, if you were 100 years old and there's a video of a lady who I believe is about 98. I don't know if she's still alive yet. And she, on a video, you just Google her. And she was saying that in school, she was taught that the earth was flat. That's what they were taught in their curriculum. So it's interesting that how these things have all turned around. Whatever you believe, I don't really care, but I'm just saying it's all there.
YouTube is a game changer, for sure. I mean, just the internet as a whole, but specifically like being shown how to do things. And I think AI is just going to grow this expand it even more. Joey commented that some of the stuff that you were capping about his concerns with AI, like it's more complicated. We'll have to have Joey on an episode in the future and we can really dig into it. Kind of a pro AI. Well, I'm not even like, I definitely see the concerns of it. I see where people can abuse the power of it, especially if you start looking at the surveillance state. You've already got like I hear Rollo back there.
I know she's stuck. I'm just gonna get her unstuck. I'll be right back. I'm here.
We've already got more oversight and more government. They can see and hear more than in any time in history. And so when you add AI into that equation, it's only going to expand their power if left to their own devices. So, I mean, I see the concerns with it, and I see that if not kind of managed and maintained, and who does that? Good question. And then there's the whole whole competing with China, and we can't let them get AI, so we've got to have there's a lot of layers to the AI onion, and I think it's just a very complicated. It's a very complicated conversation. There's many. It's not black and white. I think that there's many layers to that conversation.
Well, there's just so much.
And I just want to retire too, Brad. That's really what it's all about. Just go sit on the beach. What did Robert say here? That's why I got rid of lead paint in homes. And now you're actually getting into a conspiracy theory there. Right? So are you being serious, Robert? Because the surveillance... so lead protects radio and different electromagnetic... That's why you put a lead vest on when you get an X-ray and stuff, right? So I'm not. If the science isn't sciencing, then just bear with me. I'm not super technical, but the lead paint actually prevented radio waves and electronics to come through. It like insulated the house from that stuff, and they didn't want that. So they made up this whole story about lead paint being dangerous. Vince.
What my robot girlfriend is.
Yeah.
Sherry on here. No, she's not right now.
Yeah.
We'll send her the clip.
She might be if she just hasn't said anything.
She's spying.
Oh, she's watching. Yeah, no, it's definitely like it's gonna be interesting, right? With how fast this is all. Yeah, I never met a kid that ate that paint. Yeah, maybe we were those kids that ate that paint and we just didn't know it, right? 'Cause, no, I don't know. I just
Growing up in England, like everything's super old. Like all the houses are like mega old, and we had, oh my god, like lead paint. We had asbestos. We had mold. We had dank. We had mold in our bathroom. Like I just remember it'd be on the window ledge and everything, and it was just normal like that. It was damp there. And then I remember moving to Canada, and people would literally move out their houses if there was any mold because they'd completely freak out. That it
well,
was
there's
like
just
definitely
Vince can speak to this. He's a realtor, so aren't there disclosures? And when you buy and sell a house, like you have to disclose if there's mold and like there's so like if I'm not mistaken, if you've got a certain amount of mold, you have to have it fixed before you can even sell the house. So in England, you might have been in trouble if you had yeah.
Markers smell great.
Yeah, I remember the markers that smelled like fruit. There was like the grape one, and orange was orange, and it was like it was. Those were the best, which could explain a few things for us. Tons of disclosures. Yeah, it has to go through all that. So. Yeah, I mean it's just, but we grew up without helmets on our riding bikes. We grew up without seatbelts. I'm not saying we shouldn't have those things, but there was a lot of sort of reckless abandon. Shocking, you ate those, Dan?
We used to have flavored lipsticks and lip balms, and we used to eat those. Oh god, it was disgusting. But yeah, I remember that.
I think there's some truth to this too, Brad. We were left to our own devices, and we just you weren't washing your hands every 2 minutes. You're just out riding your bike, and maybe you made yourself a peanut butter sandwich for, if you could find peanut butter and bread. Like you're not going to go home and wash your hands. You're just going to eat it right there, right? So,
chicken pox parties. There you go. Did you have those?
Chicken. No. But I know what you're talking about. It's where people would go get their kids around other kids with chicken. If somebody got chicken pox, the kids that hadn't gotten chicken pox would all come over so that they would get chicken pox, and then they'd get the immunity. Yeah. So good times. Yeah, drink from the hose. I don't think I had chilled water until I was probably an adult. Like I just like I don't remember ever having cold water. What the hell? We drank out of the faucet. We drank out of the hose. Like there was no bottled water. There was no.
Well, we probably had copper pipes then too, hey?
Which was a good thing. Copper's actually really good for you. So
exactly, and they've all been taken away.
So Brad hosted. Maybe so. We were talking earlier about theme parties. Maybe we should have a chicken pox party. Well, right. Ever since COVID,
that should be really funny.
Ever since COVID,
it's covered in blobs.
Right. It's your favorite disease. What do you have? Yeah. Oh, I've got
a disease party. Oh my god, I'm loving this. You can either come in a hazmat suit or is your favorite disease.
I'm gonna wear a mask alone in my car. Now there's a lot of truth to this. Like we first of all, our parents weren't around, and they had to be reminded that they had kids, so they certainly weren't helicoptering over us to make sure that every little potential disaster was to be avoided. But I think the Gen Xers, as a result of all the neglect, I think that's why a lot of us became more helicoptering. I was never as extreme as kind of what it's turned into now, but man, I do remember putting those plastic plugs in the outlets so that you couldn't, so like the babies couldn't stick the stuff in there. But we had some latches on the cap. I don't remember being like over the top about that stuff. But anyway, I guess the kids could speak to that more than I can. Oh yeah, the lead. Yeah, that's the rich people had the copper. But in the old stuff, like in my hometown, when houses were built in the late 1800s and early 1900s. Some of those houses, even though they weren't rich people houses, they were copper pipes. I'm pretty sure the house I was in high school had copper pipes. So, and that was built in like the 1920s or something. So, yeah. But yeah, everything out here is all PVC and plastic, and so yeah. So when are we going to have a disease party?
Whose birthday's next?
Dan's birthday's coming up.
We can do it for Halloween disease party. There you go.
There you go. Yeah. Dan, would you want to have a disease party? it's his in June, so
yeah.
Yeah, your parents sharpened the corners. We're gonna get this. Yeah, it's like the the kid who touches the hot stove. You don't do that more than once, right? So exactly. Yeah.
Is there food? Yes, Dan. There will be food. Diseased food.
Yeah. Yeah. It might be rancid. Yeah.
Bring your favorite.
I don't know.
Disease
You could do those. You could do the shots that, like the syringes that you can do shots with. That
right.
Could be all part of the theme, right? So
it's all coming together. What kind of disease, a virus, or the one, whatever goes.
I don't think we're being too. There's not a lot of rules to the disease party, apparently. So
creative freedom. The funnier, the better.
Oh man. Oh my goodness! I just always love how the last part of the show always turns into like the where the wheels just come off. It just gets like, I wish we could like get to altitude like this quicker.
I think it's when all the stragglers show up towards the end. That's what's happening.
Sure. Yeah.
It's like being in a bar.
Yeah, the lights are about to come home. Come on, you don't have to go home, but you can't stay here. Yeah, it's like Semisonic closing time is about to play. Yeah, that's funny. Yep, that would be an interesting themed party. So tailgate before. Oh, absolutely, Brad. You and Darla are gonna have to fly out for this, man. This is gonna be epic. So, yeah.
I really am liking this. I'm going to remember this one. Come as your favorite disease. It's such a great theme.
I just like, yeah, it did go by fast. I mean, I didn't feel like I just looked down a few minutes ago and was like, holy crap, it's already 7. So 10 o'clock for you Eastern folks and right. 9 for the Midwesterners. But yeah, hey, another fun week. Thanks for being here, everyone. Thanks for letting us have our creative, silly hour of shenanigans and reliving old times and laughing with y'all. It's good to hear from everyone, and thanks for supporting us.
Absolutely. All right.
So next week we'll have pictures of our disease party. Yeah.
Well, the idea we'll start planning it. Party planning.
Yeah. And if you guys have any ideas. Anything you guys would like to talk about? Again, if anyone would like to come on and discuss just kind of things that are on your mind that you think would be relevant for this show, would love to have people jump in and participate. Hit the like and share if you would, please. And we'll look forward to seeing you all, same bat time, same bat channel, next week.
Thanks a lot. Take care.
Take care.